What's up, everyone? Here to do Hunter x Hunter 103, and this week's episode of Hunter x Hunter, it was okay. It definitely wasn't like super action packed or like um crazy interesting, but there were a couple interesting like points to it, especially like some of the new powers we got introduced to. That was pretty interesting, and just seeing like the king get stomped at something for once, that was a little interesting. But yeah, it wasn't like a super complicated episode, but I'll let you guys know what I thought about it overall. So the episode starts off with the king and this little girl playing Gunji, and he's just playing the little girl, and she's like pretty dumb and just carefree, and she's also blind, so she doesn't really like know what he looks like or what's going on, kind of. And she notices that the king is a little different, and she the king just says like so simply that yeah, he died. I'm the new king, and she's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. It was just kind of funny, and they're just playing, and he knows she's pretty good at first, and then after that we go over to Melaron, Knuckle, and Shoot, and Melaron's just observing them, seeing what kind of people they are and stuff, and just trying to figure out whether he should trust them or not, because Gon thinks that he should trust them, obviously, and he doesn't, of course, which, I mean, you can't be mad at that. It's understandable, and it's kind of somewhat realistic. And that's one thing I do like about the series. Like, obviously, it's not realistic at all, but I just like that there are actually reasons behind character action. But as Milleron is watching, he notices that Knuckle kind of can be nice because all the dogs following him and stuff like that. But right after that, we go back over to the king, and they're playing, and he's still losing. And he does notice, though, he's like, oh, well, it should just be 3 or 4 games until I can win. Until I can win and figure out her pattern. And he tells her to go to bed, but this little girl still wants to play because obviously she loves the game a lot. She's pretty good. And one thing I thought that was interesting, when like she opened her eyes when she played, and like he thought something was different, like he could tell that like this was her environment, this is what she does. I thought that was kind of interesting. But right after that, we go over to Morale, and Morale's making all these Ning clones, and we find out that he can make 216 of these purple smoke things, and instead of making 216, he only makes 50 of them that are really strong, though. And he notices that Neferpitu has to take her soldiers back because I'm not sure whether she meant the soldiers, but I figured she like let some of them loose because so she can have more Nin to protect the king, but I wasn't really sure about that. But he notices that they need to take a defensive strategy and that the king's safety is number one. But the only thing is that their plan kind of depends on what kind of king they're going up against, because like they don't know if the king is unpredictable, like he sticks to his stuff or what. And as we can see so far, the king is kind of unpredictable, and his personality doesn't really correlate with his actions, I feel like, sometimes. But anyways, they say that he might be harder to anticipate. But anyways, G2 pops up, and man, I'm not gonna lie, it looked pretty beast. And even Morale notices. He goes, and he's like, he's stronger, and he's like, he can tell he has a new ability because he's being really cocky. But he decides that he has to fight him because he might be a Nin extractor, because he notices that Knuckles, I forgot what it's exactly called, but Knuckles' little thing that follows him around is gone, so somebody can clearly extract Nin. And he notices that he definitely is stronger, and he has to fight him, like I said. And he, before they fight, he's just thinking that like, what is he doing, because C2 is just relying on speed, and he thinks it's kind of weird because you would have thought he would have something different. But he ends up touching him one time, and they get like transported to this weird world or whatever. It's like an alternate reality or something like that, and it's Chi2's zone. We found out that he wants to play tag, and I just thought that was really weird, but it definitely makes definitely a lot of sense. So I definitely thought that like that was an interesting power. And Togashi, man, he is just so creative with these abilities. Like, I honestly have no idea what category this is in, but it was definitely pretty interesting. But he has 8 hours to touch him, and he tries to get him and ask him what will happen if he doesn't get him in 8 hours, but he doesn't tell him. But Morale is pretty smart. He just lays down and tells him to give him 5 hours, and Chi2 is getting mad. and he notices that this isn't a game of like speed. This is a game of uh, mental fortitude. Like, in other words, it's a test of like to see who has a stronger will and to see who can be more patient. And Chitu gets pretty mad, like I say, and after that we go over to Lull, like the tiger looking guy, and he spots Nove and he says that they have to get him, but he doesn't want to show his ability, so he has Neferpitu send him some pawns. So in other words, he doesn't want to fight at all. But I do wonder what his ability is, because he's pretty cocky. So I don't know. I just wonder how strong he is, because he honestly doesn't seem that strong to me. But who knows with Nen, man? There's so many countless abilities, you never know. But after that, Neferpitu says that you have to defeat them though, because if once the king is done playing board games, he's gonna come out and want to defeat everybody on his own. So they don't want to risk anything. And as they say, like in the like right at the end, they were talking about how a storm is coming, and the king, he is getting pissed. Like, he is so mad because he cannot beat this little girl, and he keeps, like, they've been playing game after game, and like even Shia Poof says that like this girl's truly a master, like she's good at this game. And the king was like, okay, next game, and they didn't put up what he said, but I think he's gonna like put her life on the line. He's gonna say, okay, well, this next game, if you win, or yeah, if you lose, I die, or you die. And I don't know, just add a little pressure onto it. And I'm kind of interested in that a little bit, but I'm definitely a lot more interested in the fights that are going down right now. Liao versus Nove, because I feel like those pawns definitely aren't going to be able to touch Nove, so Liao's going to have to fight himself. And also Chi2 and Morale, because, yeah, I'm pretty interested in that, because Morale's already playing with this head, and Chi2, he's kind of hot-headed, so I wonder how he's going to react. But as I said, it wasn't like a super great episode. It was just okay to me. But let me know what you guys think. That's all I have, and thanks.